Rider Drive, back with another one. Today we are getting rid of these floorboard inserts that are just god ugly. I'm gonna pop them out with a screwdriver. We're gonna install these. These are the Willie G floorboard inserts. These are going on my tri-glide, so they will look a lot better. I was thinking of doing the rears, but since I flip them up all the time, you don't really see them, but I am going to get the covers for this, so when it's up, it looks a lot better. So first things first, I'm going to unbox this, take a look at it, and see what I'm working with. So let me see if I can do this with one hand, which I probably can't. I need to get me a tripod. Alright, let's get this unboxed. Shoot, I might have to put this in pause. Let me stop the video. Alright guys, so included in the box is the instructions, which we probably don't need those. And the floorboards, they're got bubble wrap on them, so they're wrapped up nice. Excuse the camera angles. I'm doing this by myself here. Alright, so here's the inserts. That's how they're going to look when they're installed. And you can see how much of a visual upgrade they actually do on the bike. This is my Willie G shifter, which I'm going to adjust this. I think it's out of adjustment. I could also get one for the rear, but I took off the peg because I don't really care too much about the heel shifter. The other side, remember I did do the Willie G brake pedal, and I do have the derby cover, which I have not put that on. I'm waiting to get a torque wrench to actually put them on, because they're supposed to be torqued down. I don't want to just put them on. So let me see how I can get these on. I'm going to take off the stock ones and we'll continue with the video. Alright guys, so to take these off, you just basically pop them off. What's holding these things in there is, you can see this part where I'm pointing at. That goes under the floorboard. You can see the indentation here, and they just basically push through. So it wasn't the easiest to pop those bad boys off, but I'm gonna try to get these installed. I know there's a couple of tricks to doing this. For other people actually using soap and water, maybe even WD-40 might work, something like that. And I got to get these through the holes here for them to actually stay on. These are really heavy quality shit. It's not cheap quality stuff. So that's a huge visual upgrade. Oh my god, I can't wait to get these on. Let me figure out how to put these on, and I'll get right back to you guys. Alright guys, so they are installed, and there is a tool that I use to install these, which is this little doodad. And the rubber part, what I did is I put soapy water on the rubber parts, which are these things. These are the doodads. I put soapy water in here. I pushed them down as far as I could, and with the tool I pulled that rubber piece that you're looking at right there, that one, and you pull it through, and the groove has to go under the floorboard. So the empty holes, as I showed you earlier, that's where these things are. So what I did is I put soapy water in the holes just with my finger, you know, and I put soapy water there, and it just kind of pushed them through. And you'll know when you push them through, because it'll do like a little pop. and that's how you know that they're already installed. So I'm going to work on the other one, and I'll show you how they look after they're both installed. All right, guys, so I'm going to work on the other one. As you can see, this is the Willie G brake pedal that I was telling you about. I also swapped out for the Willie G here, and we've got Willie G up here. So this is going to be a huge visual upgrade on this. Once again, they do have the inserts for the rear. I kind of didn't want to do these. I'm gonna, I don't know, maybe I might do them. I don't know. They're not cheap though. I think these were like 115. So I wonder if I could do this while I'm holding the camera, which I believe I can. And there we go. All right, so most people say you can get these off with a screwdriver. I didn't do that, as you saw. I just kind of lifted them up and they popped out. So pretty cool. Probably easy to steal too. Not for nothing. But anyhow, so I'm gonna clean this up. You don't really have to clean this up, but I like to have my bike nice and clean. So that's what we're gonna do. Again, I grab this with soapy water, put soapy water here, soapy water there, soapy water here, soapy water here. And then I got under and pushed that little rubber piece through. Remember that lip? That lip is what holds the floorboards in this part. So you have to push it through, and once that goes through, it locks it in. I'm going to keep these, actually. I like to keep my stock parts. And just go ahead and, oh man, look at that. That looks really good. Let's go ahead and get these installed, and I will continue with the video. I wish I had a way that I could actually record as I'm doing this, but I don't have that luxury. So again, soapy water, soapy water, soapy water. Then I grab this dirty rag and I soap up the little inserts and push them through. I'll be back and show you how it looks completed. Okay guys, so they're all installed. Just a little wipe down, wipe all the soap down. And wow, they do look good. Really adds a lot of visual flair to the floorboards. Almost makes me think I should have bought the rear ones, but that's fine. I'm gonna open the garage so you could see them. I'm in the garage and there's really not much light in here, so let me open the garage and see how they look. All right guys, so as you know, I put the front ones on and it didn't quite look good with the stock ones still on actually. So I went down to Harley Davidson today and I picked up the rear ones. The concept is the same. You've got your little rubber that has to go through these holes here. Once again, I'm going to use soapy water here, soapy water there, because it actually sits here. So I'm going to use the soapy water here, soapy water here, soapy water on these two ends, and of course there. And it just should go on top. But you got to make sure that the rubber goes through the little holes. As you can see, if you set it down and it doesn't go through, you have to make sure that they go through there, which they are right now. But I'm gonna set it up, put some, like again, the soapy water trick always works out. So let me get this on and I'll show you how they look, both of them. I already did it on one side, I'm gonna do it on this side now. All right, so they're installed, these were actually a lot easier than the front ones. So if you can see, the rubber went through it, and then where it mounts here, you got to make sure this is all the way pressed down. Now these fit solid. These have a little bit of movement, but that's how they are. So if you put them on, that's how they go. Much better looking than just having the front ones. There you go. Totally completes the look. Excuse the funky socks and slippers, but there it is, guys. Willie G floorboard inserts.